So I think finally we're starting to see a little bit more accurate borders and more stable borders within certain continents of the world. Obviously, I think Europe, kind of in Africa. I mean, Asia still has a lot of exchanges to go through before, because I think almost every civ I think in Asia has the potential of losing a lot of cities. And, who knows what's going to happen in North America? We could see the fall of the USA. We'll see. There seems to be kind of this final battle going on in New York, for the siege of New York, at least. America has most of their troops here defending the city. The Canadians are going to have a lot of difficulty moving through the Great Lakes, like I said in the last video. So we'll see what happens, but it is somewhat stable. I mean, it's on the... Oh, who's going after Samoa? Or who was going after Samoa? Excuse me, I have no idea. Arabia and Ethiopia finally peaced out. Not entirely sure why. Maybe Ethiopia set their sights on the Congo-Zulu War. Maybe whoever ends up losing that. And Argentina's kind of started to fight back against the Colombians. They both still have a pretty sizable military. It looks like Argentina might run out of units before Colombia does, but we'll see. Definitely Colombia has a bit more. And if they go... Ooh, Siam actually has the biggest military in the world. Wow. Then it's Napoleon. Then it's France. Or, I'm sorry. Then it's second place is France. Third place is Russia. This is the key one. Look at this. Great Britain. Churchill. Then we have Poland in fifth. Europe is crazy right now. Europe is insane. Very, very powerful force with Napoleon. But the British could be, like I said, a thorn in Napoleon's side. Churchill might be that force that Napoleon is never able to take over. I think that, definitely the French are starting to stall here in their war against Spain. Maybe it's because of a lack of infrastructure. Maybe it's a lack of will. I don't know. Maybe the AI doesn't want to sacrifice as much as it would need to take over Spain. Spain could still recover from this. They could go and settle Portuguese territory, and they'd be much better off. It's interesting to me to see Siam at the top of the list when the Koreans have really, done a great job at taking over 2 Chinese cities and 1 Mongolian city. Looks like Mongolia might be trying to attempt to take that back. Mongolia is still okay. They still have 3 cities. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Australia versus Indonesia. Australia is sending up troops. This is something that I've always wanted to see in the EU4 AI-only battles that I do on the channel. And for some reason, the Australian continent... the Australians in the Australian continent don't ever want to leave in EU4. It's awesome. This is all I wanted to see, is Australia to try to attack Indonesia, or, a nation that would have started off in Papua New Guinea or whatever it may be. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to have success here. Maybe not now, but just the fact that they declared the war means that they'll probably declare the war again in the future if they're not successful. And with a matter of time, I mean, they're going to certainly surpass a fleet that the Australians will wield over the Indonesians. The Indonesians are stuck in 2 cities. Jakarta is only at 12 pop. That sucks too. Australia has all these cities. Some of them are puppets because of their unique ability. I believe at a certain point, or if they build something, they can get rid of the puppeted cities. But I mean, just having 4 of these coastal, non-puppeted cities is going to be enough to really wield a massive fleet. But we'll see how that goes. Yes, the World Congress has been founded. Let me check actually who has the votes, because it's not us, which is fantastic. Good. So Polynesia embargoed Japan, and the Australians are trying to ban the luxury of copper. Not entirely sure why, but we'll see about that later. Maybe our rival has copper. Actually, no, we're not going to see later, because I don't really care. Because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The AIs, it just doesn't matter. If this was like a human player, if this was like a human battle that we were watching, then I'd look into it. But whoever does have copper, at the end of the day, it's I don't know. They could be halfway across the world, first of all. Second of all, it's not going to impact them that much because they're an AI and they get a bunch of big-time happiness bonuses on the Immortal difficulty. How is New York doing? Here's the thing, though. Canada's splitting up its troops. That's a big problem. Some of the troops are going for Washington. Some of them are going for New York. Oh, maybe they've skipped over New York. Luckily, New York is somewhat close by, so they'll be able to use the bombardment from this city to help out Washington. Now, if the American capital falls, that's it. Ooh, and we have a South American peace deal. But they pieced out for this first city. So Argentina started to get a little bit weaker. This is not good for Argentina. This clearly, Colombia seems to be, have a little bit more strength. especially La Plata. So La Plata is really weak in its placement. It'll be there's a lake here, so that helps out a little bit. But Argentina needs to really build back a force. Colombia is going to be very difficult to deal with. I imagine Colombia might even attack Cuba at some point, maybe Mexico, now that they do share possibly some border friction. What's going on here? Well, I kind of want to keep an eye on Canada, but let's also check in on Iberia. Yeah, nothing much. Nothing too much. And then we have all these forces in Eastern Europe. Europe is a really interesting time right now for Europe. Spain and Poland, okay. Just because we do have the Ottomans, we have a very powerful Russia. Oh, Great Britain. Great Britain just declared war on Spain. But here's the thing, what can they do? Great Britain declaring war on Spain for Barcelona would have been a smart choice. Actually, maybe not, because the more cities Great Britain controls in continental Europe, the more risk they're putting themselves to an attack on Napoleon. If they stay with just these 3 cities and they continue to reinforce leads like this, they're in a really good situation to defend a French war, as well as to really put a lot of pressure on attacking Paris if they fill out the English Channel, because they will control the English Channel. That is big news. There is absolutely I can't believe it, but Paris did not grab any tiles in this channel. Now, that might change with the Citadel. I don't know if the AI is smart enough, though, to slap a citadel north of Paris. Usually they slap down citadels for resources, so it's highly unlikely that they're going to slap a citadel here just to break up the English Channel. So the fact that Great Britain has all of these tiles under their control, and obviously they're going to be building, on all 3 of their cities are coastal, they'll be building a big fleet, and if they build enough battleships, they could do a lot of damage to both Troyes and Paris. Yeah, definitely. Definitely both. I like this campaign. I really like how it's been spread out. I like the campaign because it's been spread out. That has made things really interesting, I think. And my biggest worry about starting an AI-only battle with kind of spread out civs was that we weren't going to see as entertaining of a beginning part of the game. But you know what? That actually turned out to be not true. I thought the beginning was just as entertaining as the old world battle. The big difference was with the old world battle, we just saw more civs falling, in the very beginning. A lot less civs have fallen so far. There will definitely be a lot more nations by the end of this campaign than there were in the old world battle, I would say, I think. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of safe to say. Excuse me, I'm trying to fix my mouse here. I think that's definitely safe to say. Obviously, because there are civs in the new world that are probably going to stay alive, and it's just likely. It's just more likely. Okay, let's go to the next turn. So a couple peace deals with Mali have. I should have checked if Morocco pieced out. Ooh, okay, so there you go. Spain has survived. Spain has survived here. Let's go towards Iberia. We've got also Paris. I'm sorry, Spain. Okay, Arabia and Denmark. Persia and Spain, that there's no result from that. Ooh, okay, so India and both Korea and India working together against the Champa. Let's look at that. Now, I don't believe there's an immediate border there. Yeah, they'll be fine. Unless it's Siam to declare the war, they'll for the most part be okay. And I don't know why they haven't declared the war. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Once Siam declares and takes over this Champa city, I mean, that's kind of it. That will be the final straw that Siam desperately needs to connect their empire and to do something interesting in this campaign. Australia is somewhat struggling here. I don't know if they're... I mean, actually, there should be not too much... Oh, man, they survived. They survived by giving up New York. Okay, so America, you got to rebuild, dude. You've got to rebuild. Bam! We are going to see that Mediterranean powerhouse happen in the Eastern Mediterranean. We're seeing this massive... we'll probably see a massive naval battle go on in the Eastern Mediterranean. As well as the Ottomans already have troops over here in the Arabian Peninsula. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fun one. Declaring war on Arabia, though, that might make things just like an extra level of difficulty that you didn't need. Unless someone else declares war on Arabia soon, that would help. But right now, they're going to come after you. You really didn't need that second war. We didn't need that second war. I would have rather have it been like kind of a, I don't know, a more even battle, somewhat even battle. Catherine's plotting against McDonald's. Ah, okay, of Canada. I'm like, who is McDonald? McDonald's? You're a Burger King guy? Woman? Burger King, Catherine, woman, Napoleon? I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Napoleon is secretly plotting against Harold. Okay, I figured that. France will probably be declaring war on somebody soon. We'll see who it is. And no, I'm glad Great Britain is not sending over troops towards Iberia. That would be a waste of time. They need to stay where they're at. They are in a perfect situation where they are. We might see France declare war on Denmark potentially. They need to bring back these ships towards the North Sea, though. But they definitely need to do that. Here we go. Okay. So North America's done with its wars. Actually, the New World is done with its wars. And we have this one going on in the Eastern Mediterranean. Now, this is still going to be a difficult city to take because it is coastal. And it is the Suez Canal, pretty much. So it's going to be able to be attacked from both sides, potentially. It seems like it is pretty even. I'm pretty sure the Carthaginians have a... their unique unit is out of date, I think. I think it's out of date. Catherine is plotting against Carthage. We have Napoleon plotting against Egypt. Yeah, the fact that Egypt and Arabia are both still alive is pretty incredible. Morocco might be going after Carthage soon, too. It actually looks like... Oh, man, so here they all come. But you know what? France would attack for Rome. I would think. France would attack for Rome. But Persia also has a lot of forces, too. We might see surrounding nations sort of pick off. Like, so France could declare war on Carthage. We could see Persia declare war on the Ottomans. But both of these civs desperately need something to happen. Or else, I mean, they're just going to fall behind. I mean, the Ottomans, not so much. They could probably sit there, controlling the Eastern Mediterranean and the Black Sea, build up their navy and upgrade them a lot to the point where, like, yeah, you would cause some trouble. You'd probably take back Konya eventually. But the Baltic, moving through the Balkan region is going to be difficult no matter what. They have been building a road, which is smart, but they need more than that. Oh, okay, so nothing ever happened here. This was a massive stalemate, pretty much. The Congo versus Zulu. And no one's pieced out for anything. Yep, so there you go. How are we doing over here in Eastern Asia? Things still, it's about normal. Everything seems to be about normal. Siam hasn't declared war on anybody. Siam could also... Oh, okay, so is Australia going to be able to take this? I think they will. They've got 2 caravel attacks. They don't have any more reinforcements, though. They've got a crossbowman, but that's not a melee unit. Oh, maybe they'll be bringing the boats over from Sydney. They might. Yeah, so they're gonna attack. Okay, so Indonesia moved, and here comes... Oh, they didn't get the job done. Oh, my goodness. You didn't get the job done, and that is going to be a problem. That's going to be bad. Argentina? What is Argentina? Oh, okay. I just kind of wanted to check on how their military was doing. Well, this is Colombia. Let me check here. They haven't really rebuilt too much. So Napoleon's apparently launched a sneak attack, and it's probably against Carthage. Well, that might not necessarily mean Carthage, but it's likely. Spain can rebuild. This is your chance, Spain. Rebuild, man. Oh my gosh. If France were to take over Rome, oh geez. Just such a powerful Napoleon, controlling so much of Europe. What is going on here? So, I mean, the Ottomans are desperately trying, but the Carthaginians have reinforced. Luckily for the Ottomans, there's no road system leading from Thebes to these cities. I mean, there is in the east and down south for some reason to Memphis. Oh, that's because Memphis and Thebes were both under the Egyptian Empire for a little bit. They're landing in a few islands, but I don't know. You're lucky. The Ottomans are kind of lucky that the Carthaginians aren't sending over everything. You know, there's still a lot of units protecting the capital. This is going to be another difficult war for Solomon to get out of and to actually take things over. They do need France's help here. And it looks like Persia might be attacking from the east, but maybe the Indians are attempting to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean it could be a lot of the same thing. I wonder if Japan's actually going to settle this time in North America. It's possible. Maybe still unlikely, but it's still possible. No more boats coming from Australia. And it looks like we actually have our first time of peace. Cuba and Mexico are still at war, which is surprising. I figured that they would have peaced out by now, but I guess not. Yeah, so Canada could definitely start to swing North America in their favor if they just continue to have the biggest military. Right now they're in a lot of resistance and stuff like that. Oh, they're settling still too. If America stops settling, that will be it. Although I think that America settling in the very beginning was a big problem for them. That was one of their downfalls. They should have, made sure they had a military while also settling all these cities at the same time. So who is Morocco going after? Oh, Egypt, right? They might be going after Egypt. And again, a very quick peace deal between Carthage and the Ottomans. I mean, this is good for the Ottomans. I think if they stayed in that war, they would have just lost a lot of things. Carthage seems fine, military-wise at least. And what are the French doing with their military? Somewhat lining the borders of Rome. I think they have enough troops. Ooh, the Zulu are going to try to sneak in to attack Ethiopia. They need this. They really need this. Shaka does. This will give him a new opening because right now they're kind of being blocked by the Congo. The Congo are this... They have become the protectors. I thought the Ethiopians were the protectors from, the worlds against Shaka. But not so far in this campaign. So we have Siam building the Sistine Chapel. We have Mexico and Canada, as well as and Colombia and Canada. Okay. So that might end up being a big problem for Mexico. Obviously, Canada, they're not going to do anything here. But if Colombia sends up all its troops, which is there a road? Yes, there is. No, it's going to be difficult. I didn't realize that they had settled the Panama Canal too. Wow, the AIs have been excellent at settling canal cities in this campaign. I love that. I really, really like that. France still moving troops around the British Isles. Great Britain just doing their thing. Hey, all Britain has to do now is just chill. Just chill. Keep building up units. Make sure you have enough to defend against possibly a French attack. The French might be setting their sights maybe on Poland again. Surprised they're not going after Denmark. Denmark looks weak, and they look behind in technology as well. I'm pretty sure they are. Russia has also been very quiet for now. But this might be just that part in the campaign. Oh, and Korea's continuing. They're going to go after the Mongolian capital. This would be a big blow. I still think Mongolia could maybe make a comeback, somewhat of a comeback, because they're so aggressive. But if they lose their capital, then no, there's no way. Anyways, guys, I'm about to stop right there, though. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.